program, Caroline, and today I'm going to be doing my DCP tag. So let's get started. DCP tag, well, first, what is the Disney College Program? So this college program is a paid Disney internship that college students get to go and move down to Orlando and work for the Walt Disney Company doing a bunch of different things dependent on where the company needs you. They'll place you into your role. Currently, I still don't know my role, but hopefully come the end of July, I will know my role. So let's get started with the questions. I'm going to be using my phone because my iPad is dead and my phone is just right here. So first question, how did you hear about the program? Well, technically, this is already my second program. I did my first program spring of 2020, sad because that got canceled because of COVID. And my first program, I was a custodial cast member at the All-Star Resort. So I worked at All-Star Movies, All-Star Sports, and All-Star Music, doing just different custodial projects and roles that comes along with that. But before that, I had heard about the program my senior year of high school when I had taken a trip down to Disney and I had seen a cast member at the Polynesian on her name tag, and I saw her college was on the bottom of it, so I was actually really curious because I've only ever seen like towns and cities and what normally is on a name tag. So I had asked her like why her college was on it, and she explained to me that she was on the college program, which I thought was really cool. So I, after that trip, went home, I researched it, and realized that that's exactly what I wanted to do. So yeah, I heard it through a college program alumni at the parks. Number 2, how was the interview process? So I guess I could talk about my first program and this program because they're a little bit different. So my first program, I had applied when the spring applications had dropped. So that was back in August of 2019. And I had applied the day that they dropped. And I think it was August 20th or August 21st that they dropped. So I had applied at like 9:30 at night just to do it because I really didn't think I would get into it. I was a sophomore and I really just didn't think so because normally I always heard that it was like juniors or seniors or people who graduated already had gotten in. So I was like, well, we'll try it just to see. And I had gotten my WBI, which is a web-based interview, that day, like right after I had sent in my application. Maybe like 25 minutes later, I had received my WBI. And then I took that right away and I just let the process kind of do whatever it did. And then I had gotten my phone interview email maybe a week later, like the 1st of September, maybe? No, like the 30th of August. Yeah, maybe one of those. Either the last week of August or the first week of September. And then I had gotten I did my phone interview, which it went great. And then I sat there for a week or so. And then on the 9th of September, I received my acceptance letter. I was in class, in my ASL class, and I had to stay and remain completely silent, and I couldn't stand up, I couldn't leave class, I couldn't do anything because it's a voice-off classroom. So I just sat there and stared at the email in hopes that class was going to finish early so that I could actually read the email. For my second program, the application process was a little bit different because there's not a phone interview now. So when I applied for this program, I just applied because I didn't really know what I want to do come graduation because I graduate in May. So I was not really 100% sure what I wanted to do. So I was like, you know what, let me just apply again, see what happens. So I had applied on March 6th, maybe, March 6th, March 7th. And I got my WBI right away. I took that right away. And I had gotten my acceptance letter the following Monday. So literally it was like 6 days. So it wasn't a long process. For the second time around, the first process took about a month-ish. And then this program took a week. So yeah. Question number 3. When you found out? So kind of already answered that for the first program. I was in my ASL class. couldn't say a thing. This program, I was sitting in my living room of my apartment with my roommates who I had not told yet that I'd applied because I just didn't want to tell them yet. And I received the email, and the way Disney does it is they literally just send out the email and the title literally says congratulations, so you can't even like open up the email to like see, you just see it right away like on your lock screen or on your laptop, wherever you look at it. And I had to, again, stay quiet because I didn't let my roommates know. And I didn't want to just like announce to them like, oh yeah guys, hey, I applied and I'm going. So I was in my living room and I slowly got up and walked into my room and I read the email and saw that I was accepted, and I paid all my dues right then and there with no hesitation. Number 4. What is your role or preferred roles? So first program, like I said, I was custodial at All-Star. That program, I really did want character attendant. That was just like something that was like really high up on my list. But during my phone interview, they had asked about my like most magical moment that I had in the parks, and one of them was a custodial cast member who had found one of the like toys that I wanted as a kid that like my mom or my dad couldn't find in any of the stores, and then they just came out and had the toy in their hand, and my mom obviously bought it. But that was just like a magical moment for me as a kid, not knowing that like somebody could just magically pull something out of their back pocket and they had what I wanted. So sometimes I think that's why I got custodial the first time, but I did really want character attendant. For my second program, I don't have my role yet. I don't really care what role I get, just because working for Disney is just my dream, so anywhere is fine with me. If I had to pick a preferred role, it would probably be like children's activities or photo pass or merch, just because you get like the most interaction in kind of those things with kids and seeing different magical moments. Rather than custodial, you get to see magical moments, but it's not as many as you would think. So yeah, any of those 3. 5, how did you find your roommates, or how many do you want? So first program, I went completely random because I had a roommate and we were gonna link, and then plans fell through, so I ended up just going random, and I ended up moving into a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, which is shared by 6 people in the old complex. So I lived in Chatham, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody going down on the program. I didn't know really what the apartment complexes were, how to link with other people if somebody else fell through. So went random. I had moved into my apartment, and every single one of my roommates that I lived with had already been there, and they were all in their extensions. So all 5 of them had been there for over 5 or 6 months already. So that was a little bit overwhelming, walking in to an apartment of 5 people, being the 6th roommate, being completely new, not having gone through any of the training, and every single one of them was already at work. So I moved into a completely fully furnished apartment, decorated, and I was just all by myself. So that was a little bit overwhelming, and I wouldn't recommend going random, just because it's nice to have somebody who would be your roommate that's like a friend and you can go and do things with. You both know that you're going to be new, and different aspects like that. Second program, I am not living on property. Flamingo is great, just not for me. My boyfriend is also doing a program, so we're planning on moving in together and working full-time after our programs and just living in Orlando for as long as we possibly can. So we're planning on moving off property, so my roommate's my boyfriend. But yeah, next question. What are you going to miss while in the program? So I guess there's 2 parts of this, because first program, I really miss my home aspect, going from a very small country town to a very big city with a lot of traffic, a lot of people, just a lot of foot traffic in general. There was just a lot more people down there. So just missing the home aspect of, you know, going from small town to big city. I did also miss my friends a lot, but granted, my program got canceled, so I was only there for 7 weeks, so I didn't really get the full experience of like what to miss. My parents came down once while I was down there, so I got to see them. This time it's a little bit different because I'm moving down full time, so I guess seeing that I'll probably miss family because I'll be 23 hours from them permanently, but I think just friends and family is something that I'll miss at home, like being down there from home. Next question. What is your favorite Disney park? I feel awful answering this question because I can't like pick one. Animal Kingdom's down at the bottom, but not actually, because Animal Kingdom is my favorite park to meet characters because Timon and Rafiki meet in Animal Kingdom and they don't meet in any other park, and they're my two favorite characters to meet. So I do love Animal Kingdom, but if I had to rank, Animal Kingdom would be at the bottom. And then Hollywood Studios, even though my favorite ride is in Hollywood Studios, there's just not a lot of like...
Could you try again?
Oh, okay, thank you. My watch is talking to me. I think, like Hollywood Studios is ranked at 3 technically, but again, my favorite park, or my favorite ride is in Hollywood Studios, but there's not a lot to do in Hollywood Studios. Like, there's not a lot of character meet and greets. There's Olaf and Elsa, there's Mickey and Minnie, there's just like, and then like Galaxy's Edge, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so there's not like a lot of things that interest me there. Yes, it's cool and it's amazing, and I'm not bashing Galaxy's Edge because it is really cool and really well themed, but it's just not for me. And then Epcot and Magic Kingdom are at a tie. There's just no way I can rank either one of them because Epcot has the World Showcase and the festivals, which are my favorite thing to do. I love going to Epcot and I love walking around the World Showcase. I will do it about 30 times a day if I had to because I thoroughly enjoy it. But then Magic Kingdom, because of the nostalgia, because of the history, because of the original rides, because of Walt's legacy, everything that comes along with Magic Kingdom puts it up there with Epcot as well. That's why I just can't differentiate which one would come first on a ranking, if that all made sense. Number 8, first thing you want to do when you get there. My first thing that I want to do is I want to go see Harmonious. I just got back from Disney this past week, and I went to Epcot twice, and I did not see Harmonious because it was cold, it was raining, it was gross, and all I wanted to do was go back to the hotel and change because I was soaking wet or freezing. So I think the first thing I really want to do is go and see Harmonious, and it would probably be after Traditions because on my first program, right after Traditions, I went to Magic Kingdom by myself and I watched Happily Ever After, and that experience as a cast, like as walking into the park for the first time as a cast member and then watching Happily Ever After for the first time as a cast member just kind of hit home a little bit, and it made everything really sink in that I was about to be working for the company for 6 months, and it just made me really excited. So now that Happily Ever doesn't exist, which is sad because Enchantment is not for me. I watched it this week, didn't like it, just because I have Happily Ever After in my mind and I also have Wishes in my mind. So just not for me. So I think I want to watch Harmonious for the first time as a cast member as my first thing once I move down. Yeah. Next question. What is number 1 on your bucket list? Probably 4 parks in one day. I have not done that. I would like to do that. I think it would be a lot, but I would want to do all 4 parks, 1 ride in each park, and 1 food item that's not like a Mickey sandwich or a Mickey bar or a pretzel. So like, for example, in Hollywood Studios, go to Studios, ride Slinky, and then get a Num Num cookie. like that. Or like Magic Kingdom, going to ride Jungle Cruise, and then getting a cheeseburger spring roll. Like something like that, like not a normal Disney snack, like something that's like park exclusive. I think that's the number one thing on my bucket list. Yeah, no, that's it. And the last question, what is one thing you hope to take away from the program? Well, my first program, my one takeaway was to be able to gain the experience working for the company and having that great like work ethic that a lot of people don't realize you get from Disney. Just being on time, making sure that you take your breaks on time, making sure that, you know, a guest gets a magical moment when you can, and all these different things. So that was my big takeaway, was just having a new look on life, on how to approach different situations. On this program, it's definitely to transfer to full-time and move my way up in the company, just because I don't want to leave the company. So just having that motive to finish my program, extend if I want to, and then transfer to full-time or part-time. So yeah, that was all of the questions for the DCP tag, and I'm very excited to get this channel up and running and see where it goes. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.